Olivia has gone on an early morning swim. Hey world, I'm Dan and I'd like you to meet Livio, Hannes, Gary, Sebastian and Xander. This is a vlog following our journey down the Mississippi River on a boat made from trash. Along the way we are making a film about giving waste a second life and protecting our waterways. Welcome to the adventure. Day 5 on the Mississippi River, and this morning is surprisingly cold, like very cold. None of us kind of expected this kind of temperature. Everyone said it's going to be so hot all the way down the river.
I wish I would have packed my down jacket, but I guess for the rest of the trip it will probably be very warmer, so it's probably worth to freeze a little bit now.
I mean, I didn't pack too much stuff, man. Didn't do a jacket, didn't do any long sleeves, so didn't really expect Minnesota to be so cold.
Capping off this cold morning, we've come into Lock 5 on our way down from Wabasha, Minnesota to Winona, Minnesota. We're aiming to cover about 30 miles today. Hey there, how are you?
So, how did you get together? Were you friends before, or did the same adventure?
Have you heard of Tinder? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. If you're around in New Orleans at the end of August, we'll see you there. Bye! In other news, we met a really kind girl called Chelsea just before we left Minneapolis, who sent us a text today saying that her parents would love to meet us in Winona this evening and help us find a camp spot by the river. We are super grateful for their help, and we're about 10 miles out from Winona now, so we hope to be arriving there in a couple hours time. So we've just met up with Chad and Janelle, who are Chelsea's parents. So we are here for the evening at their camping spot, and we are just so beyond grateful for their wonderful hospitality.
Did you get the story?
So we want to document how it's been evolving and how communities all along the Mississippi are protecting the river.
A good fog-filled morning from Winona, Minnesota. We are currently 120 miles from our start point in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we have 1,740 miles to go. So a long way to the Gulf of Mexico. This is the wonderful Scott who has hosted us for breakfast this morning right by the Mississippi River. He's cooked us some eggs and we've got some fruit, and he's even donated us some fishing rods over there. So Scott, thank you so much. Gary and I just finished our interview here with Scott, who's a former fisheries biologist here on the upper Mississippi River.
You're more than welcome, and I just welcome you to Minnesota and wish you the best on your trip. I wish I was going with you because it looks like it's going to be phenomenal.
Now we are getting ready to leave Winona as we head another 30 miles south to the city of La Crosse. Thank you for everything.
Bon voyage.
See you later, Scott.
Today we're heading down to La Crosse. It's about 30 miles from where we are now. The sun is out and we have beautiful weather, but there's going to be a storm tomorrow, so we make sure that we can make it today to La Crosse.
And we're back on the river. As soon as we set out on the water this morning, we put on some music, and we put on Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, which is a song that is impossible not to sing along to. Right after this moment, we heard a motor start up and a boat pull up to the side of ours, and it contained a wonderful gentleman called Gertie. Gertie said that he heard us singing Queen, saw our boat through his binoculars, and had to check out what we were up to. He had some wonderful stories about his experience on the river. I mean, like, we're 5 days into our 2-month journey. What would you be recommending us to do to, like, you know, like how, yeah, I mean, for people who are fresh on this journey, what would you be saying to, like, make the most of this journey?
Loosen up your timeline. Because there's so much to see on the river, and so many cool people to get to know.
After leaving Gertie and Winona, we're back now on the main channel of the Mississippi, and these bluffs are astounding. After a long-ish day on the river, we have sailed from Winona, Minnesota, and we are now in La Crosse, Wisconsin. And that beautiful big bridge behind us welcomes us, and we are very excited to be in Wisconsin.
Arrived in La Crosse. We just arrived in Wisconsin, back at it again. The beautiful bridge from La Crosse.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Sam from WXOW News 19, and we're going to be on the news here in La Crosse, Wisconsin this evening. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Great. So hopefully we're going to get a link of that somewhere, and you're going to see that right now.
Well, how many empty plastic bottles and other containers do you think it would take to make a raft that would float on its own? The boat you're seeing here is made up mostly entirely of recycled materials. 90% of the wood used to build the deck is recycled from old docks that hadn't been used for years.
3 years ago in New Zealand, myself and a few friends, we started building kayaks made out of plastic bottles, and we started running some of the longest rivers and coastlines in New Zealand. Said now we want to build a boat and we want to go down one of our world's iconic rivers. Okay, wow, so it is just before 7 a.m. here in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and a huge thunder and lightning storm rolled through here last night. Ooh. There was a really loud crash in the middle of the night. Do you think it was this or was it something else? Our boat is safe. Everything looks okay. A few things were out of place, but by and large, we're okay. So with this big thunder and lightning storm rolling through, we didn't want to be out on the river. We wanted to be somewhere protected. So we parked our boat here at this marina in La Crosse to stay over for the night. But when some very kind people here, Eric and Anne, learnt about our project and about our plastic bottle boat, they said, guys, the storm is coming through, why don't you stay in our boat for the night? We were absolutely blown away by the generosity, because all I can say is that this boat is very, very different to our recycled boat. Morning, Seb.
Morning.
How did you sleep, mate?
Gee. Oh, really good, man. We were treated so well.
So a huge thank you to Eric and Anne for letting us stay in your boat last night. And after that news story, a huge thunderstorm, and the amazing generosity from the people of La Crosse, we are now headed out back on the water and heading south. And today we're hoping to make, I think, about 30 miles and get to the small town of Lansing. There is blue sky, a lot of sun, and quite a bit of wind, so we're gonna have to cover up quite a lot today. We're really quite in awe of these bluffs here, these small mountain ranges that really are characteristic of this part of the Mississippi River. This is a mile marker. This one says 683, which means that we are 683 miles away from St. Louis. And once we reach St. Louis, it's gonna start up again and count down the distance that we have to go to the Gulf of Mexico. The cool part about these mile markers is that it gives us a very, very clear idea on how far we've come and for how far we have to go. And these, along with our navigational maps, mean that we can very accurately distinguish where we are on this very long and wide river and make safe passage. We left the small town of Lansing in the very early hours this morning, but not, you see that mile marker right there? That says 644, which means that we have come 200 miles and just over 1/10 of our journey down to the Gulf of Mexico. There is a huge expansive river to go and a vlog we must finish. See you next week.